Thank you for watching. This is Richard traveling. We're in Washougal, Washington, just outside of Portland, Oregon, and the Vancouver, Washington area in southwest Washington, about 15 miles outside of Portland, Oregon, and Vancouver. We're at the Washougal Town Square here. We're going to take a look at the town of Washougal here, some of the features about this town. Lewis and Clark came through here many years ago along the river, and this town has been steadily growing over the years. About 15,000 people live here. In the last 4 or 5 years, they've really spent some time and money renovating this town. So again, we're looking at the town square here in Washougal, Washington. We'll take a look at other parts of this town. There's some beautiful homes up on the hills that overlook the Columbia River. And there's also the Washougal River recreation area. There's a port and boat launching areas on the Columbia River, and restaurants down on the river. So enjoy this video as we tour Washougal, Washington. We're looking at the sign that says Bigfoot Bar and Grill. Bigfoot has been sighted, been various sightings in this area and seen in this area, and they named that restaurant after Bigfoot. We don't know if he's human or ape or animal, but definitely been seen in this area. We're looking at the Pendleton Woolen Mills, and they have been making sweaters and all types of woolen products over the last 100 years. Again, we're in the background there. You can see the Washougal Town Square. We're going to go up the street here, and we're going to turn right and go down the renovated Washougal downtown, and then we'll look at other areas in this town. Homes up on the hill, Washougal River, launching of boats on the Columbia River, restaurants, etc. We're looking at a statue of a Newfoundland dog. This is in memory of the dog that Lewis and Clark brought with them as they traveled down the Columbia River and went to the Pacific Ocean. And so now we're looking at some of the downtown areas here in Washougal, Washington. We're looking down the street here, and it's a small little town here, but very family-friendly town here. Most of these buildings we just looked at across the street are all new structures that have been constructed. This was an old area, and we'll take a look at some of the old areas in just a moment. Here we have the Washougal hardware store. It's all been renovated, newly developed here building. Really looks a lot nice. Very attractive little town here. Across the street there we have the sushi joint and some type of a little restaurant there. So this area down here, we start to get into an area that's more of the original city, or it's been around for a while. This is Main Street, Washougal. Third Heart Tattoo. We got Alex Smokehouse here. Established in 2014. Got some little benches here. We can come and enjoy restaurant. Interesting looking place here. Nice wooden barrel out here. So this is getting into some of the old town here in Washougal. Take a peek in there. You can see the folks. Okay, we'll go through this tunnel here, and we're going to cross under Highway 14 and go to the Columbia River. This deck area here is an area known as the Captain William Clark Park. We're over by the Columbia River. We crossed Highway 14, which goes from Portland, Oregon to Washougal and on through the Columbia River Gorge, and this is a beautiful park overlooking the Columbia River, the gateway to the Columbia River Gorge. Here's a shot of the old steamboat landing. The steamboats would come through here back in the 1800s, 1900s and land here and refuel with wood and then move on down the river. This river flows all the way down to the Pacific Ocean, known as the Columbia River. And many years back, before this was dammed up, this was a fast-moving, rugged river with all types of rapids you had to try to maneuver through. We have Elizabeth here. She's walking along the Columbia River in Washougal. Elizabeth, what do you think of the Washougal area here along the Columbia River?
It's really beautiful. Actually, I live north of Seattle, and we're on our way for the weekend here and stopped here. So I picked up this trail to walk on by the river, and my mother-in-law used to live in Washougal.
Oh,
so
great.
I know for the town itself it's nice, and the Pendleton store.
Okay.
And it's just nice to have a day off work.
It's a beautiful weather today, isn't it?
Yes. The sun finally just came out. And yeah,
okay.
It's a nice place to visit.
Well, thank you for stopping, and you have an excellent rest of the day now, Elizabeth. Okay, bye now.
What investor are you? Wisdom.
If you want to get a more detailed history of this area, they have a excellent museum here, museum with a carriage house. It's got the Two Rivers Museum here that you can go in and learn about the history of this area. Over here is the Two Rivers Heritage Museum, and then over here we have a saw blade. Look at this massive saw blade here. This thing is at least 10 feet wide. Massive saw blade that was used back in the days of cutting timber in this area. There's all kinds of mills that were nearby here on the river. Here's an old water pump used back in the day with a bucket. Looks like an old bell used at the schoolyard. We're looking at this saw blade. This is a 700-pound saw blade. It was used over at the Camas mill, and they brought it over here for the museum. Amazing size there. Cut some big trees back in those days, 6 feet wide or more. We mentioned the homes. There's some beautiful homes that have been built up on the hills overlooking Washougal, Washington, the Columbia River, and the Columbia River Gorge. We're up above Washougal, Washington here, elevation about 800 feet. We're overlooking the town of Washougal. We have a little housing development here in front of us. I shouldn't say little, these are some massive homes. Great views, looking over at Columbia River, and across the way is the Oregon, state of Oregon, across the Columbia River. Beautiful, beautiful views some of these folks have. Looking to the right, we're looking to Portland, Oregon, Vancouver, Washington, back to the right, Portland International Airport back to the right, down the Columbia River, and then out to the left we have the Columbia River Gorge out to the left, Mount Hood back up past on the other side of this tree here. Magnificent view over Washougal, Washington. We're looking to the east. You may be able to see Mount Hood. It's just to the right of this tree here, this fir tree that's in front of us here, and just below the peak of the mountain down here. And right in there you may be able to see Mount Hood. The way the sun is shining, it's kind of reflective, and I can't pick it up real good. Overlooking Washougal, Washington here. Okay, we're here at the Port of Washougal, the Marina here. It's where folks store their boats here. Got people getting ready to launch for the weekend here. Beautiful day, about 70 some degrees. No wind. And it's a beautiful day here on the river, Washougal, Washington. We have Puffin Cafe, great place to come down on a Saturday night and just sit and watch the boats come in or go out. Great place to have something to eat here. Got the Puffin Cafe here, right on the Marina. Come out and watch the boats come in, leave. You can rent a boat if you don't have your own boat. If you got your own boat, you can launch it right here also. We've got jet skis for rent. We've got sailboats here, yachts, all types of boats. Well, we're just next to the marina here in this little park, Parker's Landing, Washougal Port. And we're going to conclude this video here. We've started in downtown Washougal, and then we took a look at some of the areas where people live, some of the views of the areas, took a look at the marina, just gave you a good overview of what's going on here in Washougal, Washington. It's a great little town just outside of Portland, Oregon, in about 15 miles down Highway 14. That would be back this way. And then of course down this way is the Columbia River Gorge, all types of hiking and activities in the gorge. So thank you for watching, and subscribe to the videos if you'd like to have more. Thanks for watching. Richard's Travels.